just keep recording. So
yeah, you guys can do your editing thing. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
All right, so let's introduce you first.
Hi, I am Chris Johnson, Senior Reconstruction Project Manager of Paul Davis Raleigh.
All right, so Chris, we just did a project together, and your customer had a problem that we needed resolved. Could you maybe start out by telling us about that problem and, kind of give us a lead on it?
So we had a fairly straightforward problem. Came to using a concrete sealant. So there's two applications. You have an interior sealant and an exterior sealant. Interior sealant is less abrasive to the respiratory system. Exterior sealant is very abrasive to the respiratory system. Well, one of our recent project managers, he installed exterior concrete sealant on an interior application in her basement where there was not much airflow. So it turned into a fairly substantial problem. Pretty straightforward, but we had to really jump into action to take care of this one.
So there were like fumes or something that was the problem to the customer?
Yes, so the fumes were the majority of the problem, to the point where the adjoining homes on either side of her unit, they were also experiencing fumes and were having trouble breathing as well.
Oh, wow.
So it was a pretty substantial problem, yeah.
Okay. Now, what was the problem, by the way, leading up to that led to the sealant?
So she was having some water entrainment issues in her basement, where the directive was to seal the basement pad so that we're not having any water and cracking, none of that stuff. It was more so to make sure that no water damage would pop up in the future.
Okay, kind of like an interior water or seepage issue.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Got it. So now, fast forward, we have this exterior product that was applied. There's fumes coming off of it. She can't take it. Her neighbors are experiencing it.
Exactly.
Surprisingly.
Yes.
And then I guess we connected.
Yeah. So over the weekend, the problem made itself known. She called us on Sunday, said, "Hey guys, I had trouble sleeping. These fumes are getting really bad. I don't really think I can stay in my home." So at that point, all hands on deck, red alarm. We've got to solve this issue. So our first step was to go over and grind up the sealant that we used, right? So remove that product. So we got that done on that Monday. Come Tuesday, we stepped back in the house. The same level of smell and odor was there. Grinding up and removing that sealant did not do what we wanted to do, so we were still at square one.
Got it. So then you and I spoke.
Yes.
Right? And you guys hadn't used vapor lock before.
No, and we actually spoke by chance. I was in the weeds, kind of, grasping at straws to get this thing solved. The mitigation manager who you work with closely, Frank here, I think you were in the office by chance, and he said, "Hey, let's ask Mark about this problem and see what they have to offer, see if there's anything that we can get from EnviroGuard along the way of solving the problem," right?
Now, candidly, you probably didn't believe that our product could help solve the problem.
Candidly, I had my reservations. I will not say that I didn't openly disbelieve you, but I will say is that, okay, here's a product, it's said to work, let's actually see if it works, right?
And I understand that. A lot of people, especially with vapor lock, because it's water-based, so how good can a water-based product be?
Exactly. For the price point of the material, the availability of the material, I thought, okay, let's see exactly how verbose this is and if this actually works, because it was cheaper than I thought it should be, and it got here a lot quicker than I thought a product that would be able to solve this would get here.
Now, one of the other things I know we spoke about along the way was like training and support, right? Part of it was like we needed to respond immediately to this to make sure that your subcontractor knew how to use the product. I remember there being a couple days of preparation where we were following up with one another just to make sure we had our details together. I mean, you said some really nice things about us during that period of time, but would you help me recap?
Yeah, for sure. So one of my big things is a product is only as good as the person installing it, right? So you can have a product that will knock out every single issue you have or, check every box that you need, but if the person installing it doesn't know how to correctly apply that product, what's the use of it? Right, so one of my big points in using your VaporLock product was, hey, so my subcontractor's never used this product before. What information can you provide me to get him confident in the job? Well, come to find out, all he needed to build confidence was just the label on the front of the bucket, right? It was really straightforward, crystal clear. The supporting information that you were able to get over to me in a very quick manner was also very helpful. He watched that one video twice and was like, okay, Chris, I'm ready. Let's just get this done. So the supporting information you gave really allowed us to just kind of go and get it done as quickly as possible. And that was a huge boon for us.
Yeah. So what was the result then of the project?
So the result of the project was we went in, we did the full floor prep as was dictated. We got this thing installed exactly to the specifications on the product. Gave it 24 hours to kind of marinate, let some of the smell evaporate, make sure we're not getting any new VOCs in the building, all that kind of stuff. So 24 hours later, we walked in, brought some third parties in. Hey, can you guys smell anything? Nope, just smells like there was painting done in here. 48 hours later, walked back in. Can you guys smell anything? Absolutely not. No odor whatsoever. So within 48 hours, we were able to go from oh my God, what do we do, to holy cow, this is solved. And we didn't have to put in a ton of effort or labor or just thought process behind it. We got a knockout product from you. It was delivered to my lap, gave it to the subcontractor, and problem was solved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask just a question that I've got to ask. How does that make you feel about working with EnviroGuard in the future?
So it's actually made me want to approach you guys for every single problem I come across that is fairly nuanced and kind of out of my element, you know? When it comes to issues like this, where you're using something that's a little volatile, that has an effect on a human respiratory system, I'm definitely going to come to you guys first for that all the time, because this is a big thing for me, you know, having to put a customer in a hotel because they can't stay in their home. We're not doing right by the customer. So coming to you guys and having that solved was awesome. But in the future, I'm definitely going to be reaching out to you guys thoroughly, because it seems like you guys are incredibly knowledgeable of the products you are selling, of the products you are developing. The support is there as well, which is a big thing for me. So I definitely am going to be reaching out to you guys on a regular basis when it comes to advice, products to use for certain applications. We're going to be walking in lockstep from here on out.
Awesome. I think we're good.
Cool. Good stuff.